Clean up your credit before applying for a loan. I'm Tim Diesel, I'm a commercial real estate consultant. Today I want to talk about the importance of cleaning up your credit. Now, I have mentioned a few times that you don't need your credit to get loans. This is 100% fact. I do it all the time and I help other people do it. So don't feel like this is going to stop you from doing whatever you're doing. This message is for someone who has, let's say you've got a, average 650, 700, whatever credit score, and you're going to start applying for loans. Get your credit cleaned up. Now I want to kind of go through this a little bit and let you know what I mean by this. When you're looking at a credit report, whether it's Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, whatever it is, you're going to have your name and your address. Now, this is very important. You want all three credit bureaus to match up the same address, previous address and current address. You do not want different addresses all over the place. It doesn't look good. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is something so small, but it could really hinder your deals if you're not doing it correctly. You should only have 2 or 3 addresses on. You should not have like 10. I like 2. You really want a 5-year history. So banks only want 2. They want 2 years of work history and 2 years of residence where you've lived. So if you're looking at your current, let's say you just moved a week ago, you have no history on the new address, but you have your other place you were there for 3 years. Put that place down there. So write a letter to the bureaus removing all the old addresses. You don't need them anymore. What's going to happen is if you're going for a loan, banks typically look at the size of the deal, how it's looking. They will start scrutinizing you a little bit too. If they start looking at your package and your credit report's solid, there's no waves or anything, that's fine. Now, I have seen this more on residential type deals, so 4 units and under. Banks will look at, well, where do you live here? Where are all these other addresses, all this other stuff? So it kind of brings up some things that are unnecessarily you need. So that's one thing you don't even need to have. You don't have a ton of inquiries on there. So if you're getting business loans, and I always, I encourage investors to get credit lines and business loans as much as possible. The day you close on $1 million property, you should be trying to get credit lines and credit cards immediately. Immediately. You have a business now, start using it. I also talk about start your own property management company, get credit off of that. Start your own construction company, get credit off of that. You should be maximizing your credit every single chance you get. The bad news of that is you're going to get an inquiry every single time, right? Because you're the one pulling the credit on your thing. Now, if you have credit partners or something like that, that's fine. That's one thing. I'm talking about whoever credit it is, try to have your credit as squeaky clean as possible. If you have maybe a mortgage on there, that's not so bad unless you're late. If you have a bunch of credit card debt, what I have found that's helped, try to bring them all into maybe 1 or 2 credit cards. So if you have 5 or 6 credit cards, try to bundle them up, consolidate any way you can. Use a credit line from a business, wipe those off, get your credit report clean. Because if it's on business credit, it's not on your personal credit. So the only credit card I've actually seen does this is Capital One business credit. That's why I don't like Capital One credit cards, because they show on your personal credit report. And most of other credit cards, credit lines, you can use this strategically. So the idea is when you go for a loan, you go into the bank and you're saying, hey, I see this 20-unit property or whatever it is, and I want $3 million. Great. They're looking for a reason to say no if you're a new investor. This is just the way it is. If it's a $10 or $15 million deal, they're sitting down, they want to make this deal work. Because they know there's no way you're going to write a check if the payments aren't there. So they want the deal to work. 3 million, 2 million, they want to find a way to really bring this deal together. So if there's one thing out of place, they're really going to start picking at it. And that's kind of what I've noticed. So get your credit report as cleaned up as you can. Now, if your credit report is on another planet and you can't fix it, forget about this video, forget about this strategy. Use these strategies that I've told you. Find investors, private investors, partners, owner financing. There's different ways to do it. If you're using your credit, you can really maximize it, and you really should maximize it. Don't use it to buy toys and stuff just yet. Build up your capital a little bit, and you should be okay with that. If you have any questions on it, please let me know. and I'll be glad to answer them for you. Thank you.